stretch them out. All right, and let's put them down.
Okay. Yeah, the tree.
Our question for today, boys and girls, you ready? Anisha and Austin, you ready? Our question for today on the board was, have you ever been on a picnic? And I can tell that many of you have. Raise your hand if when you were on your picnic, if you were ever afraid of anything. Were you ever afraid of anything on your picnic? Elizabeth, what were you afraid of on your picnic? Oh my goodness, so she was afraid of snakes and spiders, and she was in the forest. Lydia, what were you afraid of when you went on your picnic? Wasps. Yeah, the wasps that go around and they'll sting you. Right. And one last one.
Fire ants? Oh yeah, I got some.
Oh my goodness, Maddie was afraid of fire ants.
Oh, me too.
Okay, so raise your hand one last time if you went on a picnic once and you were afraid of something. Very good. Well, our story, or the story that I'm going to read today, is called Ready for Anything.
Ready for that?
And I know that this is a story about two, it looks kind of like they're friends because they're holding hands. And it looks like they're going on a picnic. And I know this because I know that this is a basket, and I can tell because it has a basket and it has a little piece of cloth hanging out. That makes me think it's a picnic basket. So they're going on a picnic, it looks like. But I'm looking at the cover of this book, and it looks like one of our friends is happy, and it looks like the other friend is not so happy. Actually, I'm looking at his eyes, and it looks like he might be worried about something. I wonder. So I'm thinking about story structure, and I know we have problem solution, we have events, and I'm thinking that this might be a problem solution story because this guy doesn't look very happy. So it looks like there might be a problem in this story. So that's my prediction about this. A couple things that I'm going to be looking for. Not only am I going to be reading and seeing if my prediction about this being a problem solution story is going to be correct or not, I'm also going to be making sure that I look for details in the book, and that if I forget something, I'm just going to turn back, because that's what good readers do sometimes. Sometimes when we read stories, we might forget some of the things that happen, so it is okay to turn and look back and go, oh yeah, that's what happened. So I'm going to be looking for story structure, see if my prediction of it being a problem solution is correct. I'm going to kind of summarize what's happening in the story as I go. And I'm going to look for extra special details in the story. So let's see. And I just want you to know that this is me reading my story. This is my thinking. So I want for you to keep your thoughts in your head as we're reading. So let's go ahead and go there. Duck arrived at Raccoon's house on a bright, sunny day. So here's Duck. And I'm thinking that he is maybe inviting him out for a picnic, because it looks like he's traveling there. He has his basket with him. So he arrived at Raccoon's house on a bright, sunny day. Hey, Raccoon, said Duck. Are you ready for our picnic? Well, I changed my mind, said Raccoon. I don't want to go. Why not? Asked Duck. Uh-oh, so here we are. Raccoon doesn't want to go on the picnic. I was right about my prediction about them going on a picnic, because we have our basket, and it says in the book, are you ready for our picnic? And the raccoon, he still looks worried. He says, oh, I changed my mind. And so I'm having a wondering why he changed his mind. I'm wondering if something happened. Hands down, my thinking. I'm wondering if something happened, if he's worried about something, if maybe he has somewhere else to go. I'm not quite sure. So I'm going to read to find out. Well, I've been thinking, said Raccoon, what if we are attacked by killer bees? no, said Duck. Looks like he's running away from his killer bees. Yeah, said Raccoon. And what if they chase us, you know? And we fell into a river. Oh no, cried Duck. So I think from reading this that Raccoon might be a little bit worried about what's going to happen if they go on a picnic. He looks like he's afraid of the killer bees. He's thinking about what if the killer bees chase him and they fall into a river. And at first, the duck, he was like, nah, we won't be chased by killer bees. But then, as Raccoon keeps explaining what might happen, he says, oh no, cried Duck. I'm wondering right now if he's saying, oh no, like, oh no, what if that happens? Or if he's saying, oh no, that won't happen. My prediction is that he's saying, oh no, that won't happen because there's not an exclamation point, but I don't know for sure. So I'm going to find out. So what we have right now is they're going on a picnic. The raccoon doesn't want to go, and it seems like he doesn't want to go because he's worried about what's going to happen when they're on their picnic. Okay. Oh yeah, said Raccoon. And what if we swim for our lives, but a terrible storm strikes? Oh no, yelled Duck. So there's exclamation point. It looks like Duck is now starting to get a little bit worried. So let's see. Raccoon does not want to go on his picnic. And I'm going to turn back because that's what good readers do. Does not want to go on his picnic because he was imagining some killer bees chasing him and falling into a river. And then a terrible storm striking. And now he's just imagining the worst of what could happen to him. Oh yeah, Raccoon went on. And what if we look for shelter in a cave, but there's already someone in there? Someone really scary. Like who? Asked Duck. Oh my goodness. Now, if you look at their faces, which I'm looking at really close too, it looks like they're both looking like they're pretty worried. I can tell in their eyes, and they're hugging one another. And I know that sometimes when my little boys get afraid, they hug me. They want that comfort. So it looks like they're both pretty scared. And I know it looks like that, like they're in a cave. And I'm thinking that because there's rain outside, and I know that there's caves in the woods. So it looks like they're in a cave, and it might be a little bit dark. That might be one of the reasons why they look like they're scared. But it also says, what if there's already someone in that cave, someone really scary, and I'm wondering if it's going to be a bear.
Yeah.
Let me see. A dragon!
Oh.
Shouted Raccoon. Oh my goodness. And now it looks like they're starting to imagine things that aren't there because I know that dragons don't exist. I know that there's bees in the forest. I don't know about killer bees though. And I know that there's rivers in the forest and that there's ledges and you can fall off. So those, I guess, are some things that could happen. But I do know that there are not really any dragons living in caves.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let me see. So now they're starting to think about things that just couldn't be there. That's fantasy, like what we learned about last week. Ah! They both screamed! Oh my goodness, I'm making a noticing on this page because when we started the story, and I'm turning back to look, that's what good readers do. When we started the story, remember they were in Duck's house, and then they started imagining all these things that could happen. So they were imagining these things in their head. For a second there, it made me, I forgot because I got so drawn into the story, it made me feel like they were already there, but look, they never left the house. And they're like, ah, they both screamed, Tantrum. And they hid under a blanket. It could happen, though, Raccoon warned. Picnics are dangerous. You're right. Duck thought about it for a while. But Raccoon, I wonder what's going to happen. So now the duck isn't so excited. He's actually afraid too. They're hiding under the covers. Oh my goodness, I wonder what's going to happen. These are my thoughts. Let me think. Oh, Miss Bradley, stop. Remember, you're listening. Okay, so let's see. they imagine all the worst things that could happen, and so now they're not on their picnic. They are hiding in the living room. They both look pretty scared. I wonder if they're ever going to make it on their picnic. I wonder if they may just eat inside. I'm not quite sure. And I'm also thinking about this being a problem-solution story. Right now, I know there's a problem. Both of them are afraid about what might happen if they go on their picnic. I'm thinking about events. It could be events, but I'm not quite sure because it seems like there's more of a problem. So let's read and find out. What if some lovely butterflies pass by instead of bees? That would be nice, said Raccoon. So now I'm noticing that they're thinking about nice things. They're thinking about butterflies instead of killer bees. That's much better. Yes, said Duck. And what if we follow the butterflies to the river and jump in for a cool splash? That would be even nicer, Raccoon answered. So here, instead of the bees, the killer bees, chasing them and having them drop off a ledge into a river, they're thinking about some nice butterflies. And they're thinking about splashing around in the river. That seems to me like it's a much nicer thing to think of than all those scary things.
There's no such thing as killer bees.
Yes, much nicer, Duck said. And what if the weather is beautiful with just a gentle breeze blowing? We could fly a kite. Gee, that sounds like fun, Raccoon admitted. I'm noticing that before, after they fell in the river, a huge storm struck. There was lightning everywhere and rain falling down. And now, instead of it being so rainy outside and there's no lightning, they're outside playing. The sky is blue. They're flying a kite. They're having a good old time. I'm wondering, too, if they're going to imagine something in the cave, because before they were imagining that there was like a big dragon in there, and as I remember, instead of there being killer bees, and then there being them falling in the river, and then the storm striking, when they're thinking about all the nice things that could happen, they're doing it in the same order. Instead of the killer bees, they have the butterflies. Instead of falling in the river, they're playing in the river. Instead of a storm striking, flying kites. So here they are, they're imagining what they would find in the cave. I wonder if it's going to be, I don't know, maybe not a bear. I'm wondering if it's going to be like a little, I don't know, mouse, field mouse or a rabbit. I'm not sure, hands down. Let's see. Maybe, said Duck. But what if it's just a cute little dragon who wants to play with us? You think, said Raccoon? My prediction was wrong, and that's okay. So instead of thinking about a big, scary, fiery dragon, you're thinking about a cute little dragon. And yet again, I know that can't really happen because dragons are not real. Sure, said Duck. And what if we have the best picnic ever? Roasting marshmallows. Wow, said Raccoon. Your what-ifs are wonderful, Duck. Oh my goodness. So instead of them saying, what if all these scary things happen? You're thinking about all the nice things that could happen. Even marshmallows. And I'm making a connection here. I know that when I have gone on picnics before, I have really enjoyed roasting marshmallows by the fire and putting it on some graham crackers with some chocolate. That's so good. So that definitely seems like something that's very nice. It makes me want to go on a picnic. What are we waiting for? Raccoon cried. Let's go on a picnic. That's the spirit, Raccoon, Duck cheered. Just give me a few minutes to get ready, said Raccoon. Oh my goodness.